I'm Jake Rose, I'm 22 years old, and this is my race car.
All right, 515 family, we're here with Jake Rose tonight. Tell them about yourself, Jake.
Like what? There's all sorts of stuff. 23 years old, race car driver. Drive the number 14X street stock, Sycamore Speedway.
Nice. You raced over there at Sycamore Speedway this summer.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your first year racing over there?
Oh, no. That's about this would have been my sixth season running at Sycamore, yep.
Really? So what age did you start racing?
16, 17 maybe. Yeah, I think I was 17 when I started racing. Started racing the little four-cylinder compact cars, it's bust the windows out, weld in a roll cage, and go race.
Really?
So I ran those for 3 years. My first ever race car I put together and raced, it was a 96 or so Ford Escort. And
Ford Escort?
Yeah, a little two-door, 5-speed, It was a fun car, learned a lot, but then, progressed. The next year, what was my second car? Oh, it was a late 90s, early 2000s Honda Prelude, and 5-speed manual, another 4-cylinder car. That was a real fun car, too, and I actually completely totaled that car at LaSalle Speedway. Ran a big enduro down there and junked the whole car. It was bad, but again, learned a lot of learning. But then my third year, I put together a Acura Integra, and I actually had two cars. They looked identical. You couldn't even tell the two cars apart. Painted identical. So I had my main car, then I had a backup car, and I blew the main car up one week. Took the backup car out the next week and then blew that car up. So I was like, well, I'm getting a little too crazy with these 4-cylinders. So the next year I decided to move up and put together my first street stock, and did absolutely horrible my entire first year. It was not what I was expecting, to say the least. But again, it was fun. I still had fun, and I learned so much more than what I would have ever even imagined went into these cars. So after that year, I tore that car completely apart. I mean, my car was literally a bare chassis in my little 1.5 car garage.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that was quite the undertaking. Had to put an all new body, all new sheet metal and everything on the whole car. Went through everything I could possibly do on the whole car. Took it out the next year and did absolutely terrible again.
Did absolutely terrible, he says.
Yeah.
Now, what's the car you drove this year?
I guess a year ago around this time, I bought the car that I have now, and ended up going through that car and put it all together, ran this season with it, and I did a lot better than what I was doing, but not really where I wanted to be, if you get that. I was hoping for a little better results, but after having a lot of engine problems to start the season off this year, that really kind of it's just frustrating, pulling the motor out of the car 4 or 5 times.
I think Cam and I were at your shop when you just got your motor back.
Yeah, yep.
And you just gotten it in.
Yep. So that was just an undertaking. Well, let's back up a little bit. This springtime, before the 2021 season, I moved, and the place that I have now, I've got a nice 30 by 40 shop to work on the car. So moved out of that little 1.5 car garage to nice big shop.
Nice big area.
Yep. So that was certainly
the bigger the garage is, I found out, the bigger the mess is.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Because you fill it with more clutter.
Yep. The more space you have, the more stuff you get.
Yeah.
And it's just a never-ending cycle. But having that nice big shop, it helps so much. Just having room to work around, keep spare parts, trying to keep things organized the best as you can, at least. But so then finished building the car, ran it, had engine problems, you know, had the motor out of the car probably 4 or 5 times back at the engine shop. And then luckily, you know, the last time I just dropped it off. I said, just fix it. I don't care what it takes. I want it to work. So they're like, all right. So they went through everything again, changed a bunch of stuff, and finally.
Did they find something wrong with it?
Yeah, they ended up. So I guess a little bit more backstory. The guy I originally had build that engine towards the end of last season, so the end of the 2020 season, the first engine he built me blew up after 2 nights. So he built me this engine that I have now. So, you know, things happen, you know, it is what it is. Gave me a good deal on the next one. So got that one all, you know, ran it for like 2 or 3 nights, finished the season off. Everything was good. I put the motor in the car for practice season for 2021 season, and I had some issues with it. So I had a buddy that works at an engine shop. I pulled the motor out, dropped it off to him. I said, hey, just go through it, double check things. You know, I don't want to have any problems. You know, just go through it, make sure nothing's wrong. Well, they opened it up, found quite a few things wrong with it. So they fixed, you know, a handful of things, but said the other ones should be okay. Well, they weren't okay, and I had more problems. So
came and bite you on the ass.
yeah, tried to save a little bit here, and it just turned around, and
It's not worth it.
Right.
Go all in. Just
Right.
gotta go all in.
so I ended up, you know, the last time I had it up there, I said just do what you got to do and just make it work. So they ended up putting in a new cam. They went through the whole both heads, and all new valves, all new valve guides, all new valve springs, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
And machined the heads, made sure everything was perfect, and I never had an issue again for the whole rest of the season. So it's been reliable so far. I am gonna take it. Hopefully, you know, I'm gonna take it back this winter, have them freshen it up, add a little bit more to it. You know, always need a little more power.
Now, how are they going to add power to it?
It depends. Whatever way they can, that's in my budget.
Or is that a trade secret? You can't talk about how you get your power.
No, I might switch heads, switch to a different set of heads that flow a little more. So mine are decent, but they're not the greatest. But you know, they get me around the racetrack. So I might put a different crankshaft in it, stroke it out a little bit, so that'll add a few more cubic inches. But you know, I wanna, you know, remain, or I want to have reliability, so I don't want to go too over the edge, but I do want to, you know, have some more power under my pedal.
Are there any kind of guidelines in how much modification you can do in your bracket?
There is.
Like you can't do something.
I mean,
That's
basically internally of the engine, you can, for the most part, do whatever you want. It's more externally, you know, you have to run the 2-barrel carburetor and a
suspension. Probably everybody's got to have a kind of similar suspension and everything.
well, similar, but you know, it's for the most part pretty free range. There is a couple rules as far as like trailing arms, the mount locations and angles and stuff like that you can't, you know, exceed a certain angle pretty much. But as far as like springs and shocks go, that's a whole different ball game. You can pretty much do whatever you want. So
Nice.
for the most part, within reason, you know, if you have a street stock showing up with like late model coilovers on it, well then that's going to be a problem. But
Okay, yeah.
but just as far as a typical spring setup and a typical shock setup, we're pretty wide open of what we can do.
Nice. Now, what's the bracket above you? Is there 2 brackets above you?
Sorta. So there's Sycamore super late models, which are, you know, late model, the big like wedge kind of shaped cars.
Yeah, the night that Cam and I were there, you were in a bracket, and then there was this other bracket of these cars, and they were really...
Yeah.
I mean, they were sideways all the way around the track.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
wow.
those are like super late models.
Okay.
And then Step up from that are just dirt late models. You know, they look and sound pretty similar, but suspension wise and stuff like that, you know, are a little bit different. Engines are similar, but you know, dirt late models, you can do just about anything. You know, they're pretty 900 horsepower engines. You know, they're pretty crazy.
Wow. That's some power. How fast are you going around the track?
In the street stocks, we average about 85, maybe 90 miles an hour. But so we're definitely moving. You know, from the stands, it doesn't look like it's that fast, but when you're on the racetrack, you're cruising.
How many seconds does it take for you to get all the way around the track?
That really depends on track condition.
Oh, okay.
So like the beginning of the night in qualifying, you'll see times anywhere from, you know, 17 seconds to 21 seconds.
Yeah, say you're going 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, so like on average, probably like a heat race or something like that, where the track is, you know, pretty tacky and there's a lot of traction there. You're probably seeing 16, 17, 18 second lap times.
Wow.
High 16s, 17s, 18s.
And how long is that track?
So the racing surface is 3/8 of a mile. I think it's technically a half a mile on the outside wall.
Okay.
So the racing surface is 3/8 of a mile.
3/8 of a mile, 17 seconds.
Yep. So that's pretty quick. Pretty quick.
Yeah, it is.
In a circle on dirt as well.
Yeah, in a crowd.
Yeah. So
how'd you finish out this season?
I think in points I ended up like 14th, 15th, something like that. Nothing crazy, but just because, you know, I've only maybe finished half the races in the season, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that puts a damper on the old points list, but I mean, racing for points, you know, me personally, I don't really pay attention to the points unless I was, you know, a top runner or something, you know, top 5, then maybe I would, but you know, go out there just to have fun, you know, have a good time.
What kind of money do some of the guys win when they're winning the race and, you know, at the end of the night?
The end of the night for our feature win, so our you know, our main event, so to speak, win, it pays $300 to win and a trophy. But yeah,
you spent $300 in gas.
Yeah. Just about. I mean, I go through probably in race fuel, I mean, $70 to $100 a night.
Race fuel, where do you get race fuel at?
Any you know, dealer who sells it pretty much. So me personally, I go to Illinois Power Sports here. He moved, so he's in the old Bob Joe's now, right next to the racetrack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's super, you know, Jay over there, he's a really super cool guy, and you know, I just go to him, nice and easy.
Last I knew, that gas station up on 251 and 72.
Yep.
They sell racing fuel for the guys going over to Byron, drag strip.
Right, and you know, a lot of people, you know, still buy fuel just like that. You know, a buddy of mine, he buys, you know, a gas station near him, you know, sells it, so he just gets it right there.
Nice,
quick and easy. But
so if I rolled in there with a big 500-gallon drum,
yeah,
I could make some money.
Maybe.
So what do you got planned for next season? How you looking for next season?
So we got, you know, right now the car, it's all blown apart, you know, a million pieces, no suspension on it, no body on it, no sheet metal. So just going through the car, you know, towards the end of the season, we made some spring changes, some shock changes to the car, and really woke the car up a lot. So we're going to kind of start with a little base setup off of that for the beginning of next season, and you know, just work our way up from there. So like I said, you know, I got to get a new rear end for the car, because the one that was in the car, it, you know, I got tangled up in a few other cars, and
crafty guy.
Yeah, and got tangled up, so rear end was bent and it couldn't be straightened. I took it to a machine shop to hopefully have them straighten it, and they said it was too bent to be straightened. So I was borrowing another rear end from a buddy of mine, and so I got to buy a rear end, and I'm going to change the transmission in the car. They had a little rule book change, so I'm going to change the transmission in the car, get some engine work done, so hopefully we'll be starting towards the front of next season.
How about that truck you had in your garage?
Yeah, well, that thing, it was a project. It was a little old beat-up S10, and I put you seen that small block Chevy in a big old tunnel ram, dual carburetors, and really, I got looking at it, the frame was just too shot on that old truck to handle that kind of motor. So I ended up selling the truck. I kept the motor, and I got a guy supposed to come tomorrow to buy that motor.
Nice.
So yeah. So plus, I just with the race car, I just didn't have enough time to finish that thing. It would have been a really fun, cool parts getter, but it was just I just didn't have the time for it.
Yeah, probably extra cash.
Yeah.
And now you got 2 babies to take care of.
What's that?
If you had them both.
Oh yeah, 2 cars. I was like, shoot, I ain't got no kids.
No,
not
baby
kidding.
like that.
No, yeah.
But you treat it like a baby.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that thing. I mean, time and money. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is time and money. But yeah, it's nuts. The amount of time and effort and science really that goes into these cars. You wouldn't even believe the amount of actual science and geometry and stuff like that go into these cars to set up the different angles and degrees of this or degrees of that. I mean, where we're bolting weights and lead in the car, and I mean everything, no matter what, every little thing plays its part.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's take 5, and then we'll come back and talk about the next year's season, and maybe watch a few videos together of you racing. And you can kind of, when we're watching it, you can call out, different things that you're seeing and you're feeling inside the car.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
All right. We're with Jake Rose. We're going to take 5.
So, pretty much kind of hoping to start kind of where we left off this season. We had a couple decent finishes towards the end of the season, a few top 5s, a couple second place in the heat race, so that was kind of like a big relief. We see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Nice.
So kind of out of the darkness of stuff breaking, and we're seeing the end of the tunnel,
figuring out all the bugs.
Right. So we're kind of hoping to start off kind of where we left off with this season. So make a few changes. We're gonna we keep a big notebook of setup and everything we do to the car every week. So I might get kind of crazy, kind of carried away, for next season. But hey, you got to try it. I got a few wild little tricks I'm gonna try to the car, and it's either gonna be real fast or gonna be real slow.
Yeah, but you're in there swinging. That's all that counts.
Yep. So if it doesn't work, we'll just go back to where we left off at the end of this season, and then keep adjusting from there, because we know that seemed to work. So, it's just a never-ending battle of trying to get that little bit of edge over everybody else that's out there. So it definitely takes a toll on you. It keeps you busy, but any little edge that you can get is take advantage of it.
Very nice. And I see you got some stickers here. What you got going on there?
Yep. So I got some stickers made up. I'm hoping to get a good handful more of them made. So
that's the number on this car,
yep.
14X.
So hoping to get a few more made up and start selling some of those, and start selling some T-shirts. I am going to get some T-shirts made up for this season. A picture of the car or something on it. Just not 100% sure in my paint scheme yet. So
are you going to repaint it for next year, different colors?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of undecisive. I wanna switch it up a little bit, but then again, I really like the white that I had going on this year. So
okay.
So I'm still a little undecided on that, but I wanna make sure I have all the sponsors and stuff in line, so they can all go on the T-shirt as well. So
how many sponsors do you have now?
Right now, probably I have to count them off here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 or 8.
7 or 8 sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay. You looking for some more?
Yeah, always looking for more. Always got room on the car. So
if you become a Jake Rose sponsor, what does it entail?
Certainly, it depends on how much you're willing to. It depends on the location of the sticker on the car and stuff like that.
Okay. So they get a nice big sticker on your car to be okay.
Displayed on the car for the whole season. At any given point, if you have any kind of public event or anything, I would gladly bring the car out and set the car out on display. It's great to
nice.
Great
That's
to
interesting.
get kids and the family involved and tell them about about the racing, about how everything works, and then probably display your name going around the racetrack, So
nice.
Just bringing the car out and having kids' faces light up and stuff, and have them sit in the car and stuff like that. It's certainly brings a lot more people in.
Nice.
So, yep. So, like this year, had Anderson Plumbing and Heating on the hood. A Teco engine and dyno shop. I mean, they are absolutely phenomenal.
That's the guys that did all your work?
Yep.
Your engine work?
Yep, all of them. All the guys down there, absolutely phenomenal. Davidson.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, yep. Davidson Construction Supply. If I need to use their shop at all, any tools, any equipment, anything that they have, they just go for it. Use anything that we got.
Excellent.
Hicks Quarters, Cole Hicks. If you need window tinting, ceramic coating on your cars, trucks, side-by-sides, anything you could think of, certainly go to Cole Hicks. I've used him plenty of times on my various vehicles that I've owned, and every time, man, it's absolute perfect quality. I mean, that man, he does absolute magic. So
nice. He's getting a big old shout out today.
Yeah, definitely. If you need any kind of window tinting or anything done, let him know. A buddy of mine, Josh Sipes, Squirrel Cage Custom Fabrication. He's had his hands on just about, I think he has had his hands on every one of my race cars I've ever owned. And whether it be welding bumpers up or seat mounts or roll cages, I mean, anything I need, he's always right there to help out. We had a new one, another new one come on board this year, A&E Builders, Scott Edis. Again, any kind of construction work or anything, he actually built our new shop out there at Davidson's, and did an absolute phenomenal job. If you need any kind of construction work or anything, definitely talk to A&E Builders. Skylar Sarver with Midwest Signs and Designs did these stickers, all the stickers on the car, and again, I mean, absolute phenomenal work. Cannot complain one bit.
Nice.
And help them. Oh, of course, Joel Hernandez with P1 Racing and Performance. I mean, he has absolutely bent over backwards for me this season. He has helped me out a ton. He's the one actually borrowed that rear end from to finish out the season.
Okay.
So whether it be borrowing parts from him or ordering new parts or setup work or anything, I mean, he has been there. I mean,
well, it sounds like you got a really good team around you.
Yeah, certainly.
Team of people that are helping you out.
Certainly, and that's what it takes to run these cars. I mean, it takes a team, So, every little bit counts, So. If you are ever interested in, getting your name on the car, your business on the car, certainly just shoot me a message, shoot me a call.
Get a hold of Jake here.
Yep, get a hold of me, and I'm sure we can work something out. So,
excellent. Let's take a look at a video here of you going around the track.
This will be either real good or real bad.
You can tell us about it.
All right. We'll see what we
tell us what you're thinking.
Here.
Oh, there he is.
So this would have been a little bit towards the beginning of the season. Notice how all the cars are still somewhat nice and shiny.
Oh, you hit the tire there.
Smoked the infield tractor tire there. I mean, everybody, that's kind of a thing in the racing industry. Everybody makes fun of you for doing it, but everybody does it. But right behind me there, that red and black number 9 car, that's a buddy of mine who works at the engine shop. I mean, he's certainly helped me out quite a bit this season. But it looks like this night we're a little tight on entry on the car. It's kind of hard to tell here. It's sitting in a different perspective than I usually am.
Yeah. Now, about how fast are you guys going right here?
Probably anywhere from 80, 90 miles an hour on the straightaways. But yeah, we certainly, you can kind of see how the track is like almost turning black in color. That's
bam! Oh,
smoked the tire again. Oh man.
Wow! What are you doing there?
Wow.
Now, does everybody have to take a yellow?
Yeah. In this case, yes. But you notice how the track is almost turning like a black in color. It's getting real slick. So.
So it's hard to control.
Right. When it gets real slick, I mean, it's almost like you're driving on ice.
Okay, now you're getting back up in. Is there a certain spot you're supposed to go? Now, when that happens, is there somebody talking to you on your headset?
Yep.
Who's talking to you?
Race receivers and basically just the track officials.
So do you have to get back into the end of the pack?
Yeah. So that was
because you were probably around.
Right, 3 or 4 spots up.
Yeah.
But since it was my fault for the caution, I get sent to the back.
Punishment.
Yep, pretty much.
Really?
What it is, yeah. If it's your fault, you get sent to the back.
You lose your position.
Yep. Whereas if it's a caution and it's totally unrelated to you, then you
get your spot back.
Right.
Okay. So I see a quad runner out there. Is he pushing the tire back?
Probably. Yep. Or looking for any pieces might have fall off or anything like that. Yep, there you see him pushing the tire.
Yeah, there he is. You got to wait for him to get out of the way.
Yep.
Yep, now you're back.
Yep, so this, like I said, this looks like it was towards the beginning. Maybe, it's hard to tell. Maybe middle
Camaro's
of the season.
nice. Is that a Camaro?
Yep. Maybe middle of the season or so.
Now, each lap that you're going around under a caution, that's a lap counted for the race.
Well, I got to think about that one.
They do. That's how they do it in NASCAR.
No, I don't think it is here.
Because if they're under a caution and they're going around slow, that's still ticking away laps.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Okay.
Here, yeah.
Oh,
I guess I never really
flag.
paid attention a whole lot. I should probably know that.
Well, now you got some homework.
There we go. There's him trying to bang down the high side there.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Go, Jake, go. Come on.
One of my goals this season is kind of ironic, but all season long, I wanted to rip the rear tailpiece off completely. Wonder who that is. All season long,
we're having fun.
Yeah, all season long, I wanted to rip that back tailpiece off, on the wall, in a good way, just enough to rip the tailpiece off, but not slow me down. And finally, the very last race of the season, I finally ripped it off at Charleston Speedway. So.
You race other speedways than Sycamore?
It depends. This year I ran Charleston the very last night. It was a big
Charleston, where's that at?
About 3 hours south of Rochelle.
Oh, okay.
And
straight down 39?
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a big, high horsepower, high traction racetrack. So my little motor couldn't really hang.
You didn't hang? Now then were bigger cars, or just the track was different?
Well, the track was so hooked up and stuff that every bit of motor that you had was always, you had all kinds of traction.
Oh, so you never took the foot out of the gas.
Pretty much. So
nice.
Trying to compete with engines that are double the horsepower of mine in that case, But it was fun, and I finally, somewhat achieved my goal of ripping that tailpiece off. So I think when I pulled off the track and I seen that, I mean, I didn't completely rip it off, I suppose, but I split it in two. I think that was probably about the happiest moment of the whole season.
You'd accomplished a personal goal.
Yep, yeah, a personal goal of ripping the tailpiece off. But yeah, no, Charleston was a good time. I want to go back, but this season it was just all kinds of ups and downs and all over the place, So just trying to do what I can with what I have, and but it was definitely tough. There's a couple real low spots of the season where I was ready to throw in the towel. I kid you not, I was literally in tears sitting on my trailer at the racetrack. Just nothing I did would work. Anything and everything I tried, nothing would work. And I tried everything. Every single week I touch every possible nut and bolt on that car with a wrench.
Wow. Tightening, loosening, adjusting.
Yep. Week in, week out, making sure everything is as perfect as I could possibly make it, and just nothing would hold together.
How often do you take the weights inside and move them around?
Those I don't usually move around a whole lot. Mostly like beginning of the season, trying to get the percentages to scale out right and
getting it all dialed in.
But once you kind of get it for the most part where you like it, you usually don't have to move them a whole lot. But you just make other adjustments in other ways on the car. I don't want to give out too many secrets, but
I got to keep your recipe secret.
Yeah. But some people they move weights. That's all they care about is what those numbers scale out to be, and that works for some people. It doesn't work for others. If it works for you, go for it. It's one of those things you gotta figure out what works best for you. So
nice. So if somebody wants to see a race next year, do you have a schedule for the Sycamore Speedway?
Pretty much every Saturday night.
When does the season start?
This year they started about a month late because about every year they try to start at the end of April, beginning of May. But the past 3-4 years we've gotten 3 or 4 rainouts that first month, so it's like just because of springtime rain, if the track takes on too much water, we just can't race. And so they started about the end of May this year, and I'm assuming, I haven't looked yet, but I'm assuming they'll probably do the same thing again. So probably about the end of May to beginning of October.
Sycamore Speedway.
Yep.
Everybody needs to go out. We were there. It's a really nice place. They got some good food.
Yep, certainly.
What was they had the burger or something like that. They had some raceway dogs or something?
A Speedway steak.
A Speedway steak. Yep. What is a Speedway steak?
It is a hot dog. No, they got nachos, burgers, pork. I think they have pork chop sandwiches, maybe. I don't remember.
No, I know I had a burger. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah, not too bad. But if you go, you got to bring some safety glasses or some sunglasses or something, because you'll get dusty sitting in the stands.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Anything else you want to say?
I think we touched on a lot of things.
All right, Jake Rose, Sycamore Speedway. Everybody needs to come out next year about the end of May. Yep,
anywhere from about the end of May to beginning of October. Every Saturday night, with a few exceptions. We do have a few, flip-flop dates or something like that. But for the most part, just about every Saturday night. If you have any questions on the schedule, go to sycamorespeedway.com or their Facebook page, Sycamore Speedway. They always post schedule and anything else. There's a few special events. Usually they have like monster trucks once a year. This past year they did a few like 4-wheeler races and stuff like that. So trying to switch things up, trying a few
I've seen the
things.
blocks out there in the center for the demolition derby. How often do they do that?
Every Friday night they have a demolition derby.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. we'll catch up with you next season, Jake. We'll be there for sure. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.